Welcome and karibuni to Aroma of Zanzibar. Today I'm going to share with you how I'm making my stuffed eggplants. This is a Mediterranean inspired dish, and I'm using very basic ingredients simply because I don't want other flavors to overpower the eggplant flavors. Okay, so I've got fresh eggplants, I've got tomato paste, fresh tomatoes, lemon, garlic and ginger, onion, green pepper, cumin powder, cilantro, and also if you can use mint if you wish. So I'm going to roast my eggplant, and I'm making the holes here to allow the air to escape, otherwise they're gonna burst. And you can bake these, or you can boil them, or you can steam them. So I'm going to put them in the oven for about 15 to 20 minutes on broil. So now my eggplants are ready and they have cooled. They are very well cooked, and I'm cutting them, as you can see, into halves. And usually I use the big size that's easily accessible in the market. The medium size, these ones, I think they're called Italian eggplants. It's not very easy to get them, so you can go ahead and do the big ones. Actually, I like the big ones because the serving portion is very nice. I mean, it's perfect. So you're gonna scoop up the meat like how I'm doing here, and if it's well cooked, it will be as easy as this way, or you can use a spoon or a fork. But if it's not well cooked, you may need to use a knife. Okay, and then I'm going to mash it in a food processor. So I've got my pan on the heat here. This is medium high, and olive oil. You could use 2 or 3 tablespoons depending on the amount of ingredients you have. So my onions are going to saute for a few minutes. I don't want them to brown, and like I say, I'm using very basic ingredients, so I'm only using cumin powder. You could use anything else if you want. Maybe you can add a little paprika if you want it a little bit hot. And then my ginger and garlic. So I'm just going to saute for a few minutes because I don't want my garlic to burn. And I'm using tomato paste. You don't have to use tomato paste. You could use just normal tomatoes. Just fresh tomatoes, or diced tomatoes, or you could use crushed tomatoes. But if you're using paste, you want to go ahead and cook the paste first before you add your fresh tomatoes. And this is gonna saute for a few minutes, and I'm adding my fresh tomatoes, and then I'm gonna cook this for a while because you do not want to make sure that your tomatoes are well cooked before you add the eggplant, because it will suck up all the grease, and then you may have to add more because it's going to be very dry. Okay, so I'm adding the cilantro. I like to do the cilantro inside and outside later on to give it a good flavor, and the aromas too. Okay, and a little black pepper, and salt, of course, and some lemon. And the lemon, I'm using just half of it, but you could use more. It depends how you want it, how tangy you want it. And like I say, you can add whatever spices that you want. I haven't tried. This is one of those dishes that I ate it in a restaurant, and I've not been able to get the recipe, so I have just created it myself from my taste buds, whatever I ate. So anyway, now I'm adding my eggplant. You see, it's nicely mashed. I used a food processor, and you just want to combine and let it mix well because it's already cooked. So you just want to make sure that the spices are mixed through. Okay, so I'm turning off my heat and let it cool a little bit. So I'm using this Pyrex dish. You could use anything any other dish or any pan, or just put it in a baking tray, it doesn't matter. So I've added my olive oil here, and I'm going to put my shells and fill them up with the stuffing. Okay, and most of the times I like to add nuts on the top, and I use pine nuts or walnuts. You could also use a mozzarella cheese while you bake, and they're really beautiful. The kids love it. My kids don't love eggplants, but when I put mozzarella cheese, they love it. So yeah, so I'm just adding this, and then I'm going to bake these at 350, or you can do 400 Fahrenheit. It's okay. You just want to keep them for about 10 to 15 minutes, and they'll be perfect. Okay, so these are almost, they're done. And I'm adding some cilantro. I'm drizzling some olive oil and adding some cilantro. Or you could do mint also at this point. And this is the point where you're going to add nuts if you want to. Okay, so now these are done, and I like to eat them with my pita bread and hummus. And for more recipes, please visit me at aromaofzanzibar.blogspot.com. Thank you.